Last time we were here, we did slope, which is rise over run. So if I'm going from this point to this point, my slope, I rise 1, 2, 3, 4. I run to the right 2, 1, 2. So my rise over my run was 4 over 2, which is 2 over 1, which is 2. So the slope of this line is 2. How do I know it's a positive slope? Because it goes up from left to right. As I'm going this way, it's going up. This one would have what kind of a slope? Negative. So your answer should have a negative in front of it. Okay? The answer should have a negative in front of it, and it goes down. Down 2 to the right 3. Down 2 to the right 3. Okay? So that's rise over run, and that was slope, and that's what we did last time. So a positive slope from here to here, up 1 to the right 2, 1/2. This one from here to here, down 2 to the right 5, negative 2/5 slope. Okay? That's what we did last time. Okay? If it goes up from left to right, positive slope, down from left to right, negative slope. Okay, go quick. All right, so I am going to add a page now. 7.1b, slope formula. And then draw, review, history, view, lines. Okay, so we're working on slope. If we're right here, and we're right here, we can find the slope of this line, right? We just count how far up, how far over. So this point, what is its ordered pair? An ordered pair is its coordinates, where it's at on here. So from the origin, I count over 1, 2, 3, and I count down 1, 2, 3. So I go 3 to the left, so it's negative 3, and 3 down, so it's negative 3. Its coordinates are negative 3, negative 3. This point over here, I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the origin, and up 1, 2. So it's 6, 2. Okay, those are its coordinates. Yes. X is left and right, Y is up and down. All right, so then, if we counted slope for rise over run, from this point to this point, I rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a rise of 5, and a run to the right of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I run to the right. Oop. Should have been 9, because I went to right here. My line was just a little bit off. I went to there. So 9. So my rise over my run was 5 over 9. Okay? But what if I didn't have the line? What if I only had the ordered pairs? I need to figure out my rise over my run if I have ordered pairs. So my rise, does rise involve X numbers or Y numbers? Y numbers. And run involves X numbers. So my rise, I take my y numbers and subtract them. My run, I take my x numbers and subtract them. So we can call this x1 and x or y1 because that's the first ordered pair, and this is x2, y2 because that's the second ordered pair. So if I take y2 minus y1, what I'm doing is taking 2 minus a negative 3. And then if I take x2 minus x1, I'm taking 6 minus a negative 3. Okay? This minus this minus this. What's minus a negative? Plus a... Is it plus a negative? Is minus a negative the same as plus a negative? No, it's plus a positive. If you minus a negative is plus a positive, we get, hey, look, 5/9, the same as we got when we did rise over run. So you should get the same thing. So, when you're given ordered pairs, here's two ordered pairs. Do I have to graph it? No. I can use a slope formula. Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The first ordered pair you're given is x1, y1. The second one you're given is x2, y2. So you go y2 minus y1, 10 minus 2 over x2 minus x1, 10 minus 8. What's 10 minus 2? 8. 10 minus 8? 2. So we get a slope of 4. If you put 4 over 1 in pre-algebra, I'm not going to count that wrong. Okay? In Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, I'll count that wrong because it's not fully simplified. In pre-algebra, I'm not going to count that wrong for you. Okay? If you put 4 over 1, because that means you're going up 4 and to the right 1. Okay, let's get some more negatives involved. Let's say we have a negative 4, negative 10, negative 2, negative 6. Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So, just grab it. So we have x1, y1, and we have x2 and y2. So what's y2 here? Negative 6 minus, what's y1? Negative 10 over, what's x2? Negative 2 minus, what's x1? Negative 4. When you have minus a negative, what should you do? Add a positive. Add a positive. Negative 6 plus 10 is 4. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. What's 4 divided by 2? 2. There is our slope. Okay, so you should know how to do slope pretty well now. Now for the interesting ones. x1, y1, x2, y2. What's y2 in this case? Negative 8 minus 4 over 6 minus 6. What's negative 8 minus 4? Negative 12. What's 6 minus 6? 0. Somebody with a calculator. Take 12 divided by 0. You cannot divide by 0, can you? So it's an error on your calculator, but we don't write down error. We write down the word undefined because the slope is not defined. So that is the answer if we divide by 0. An undefined line, if we graph this, if I go 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, negative 8, what kind of a line do I have? Besides it being a straight line, because mine's a little crooked, but besides a straight line, what's another way to describe a line that goes up and down? It's a vertical line. So if the slope is undefined, what we have is a vertical line. Now the answer for today is I'm looking for the slope. So I'm looking for the word undefined if we divide by 0. Okay? Now, don't get caught up of you see a 0, then it's undefined. Because watch this one. So here's x1, here's y1, here's x2, here's y2. Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What's y2? 2. What's y1? 2 over negative 4 minus 3. What's 2 minus 2? 0. What's negative 4 minus 3? Not 7. Negative 7. Okay, take 0 divided by 7, negative 7 on your calculator. What do you get? We're not dividing by 0, are we? We're dividing by negative 7. So we're not dividing by 0. 0's involved, but we're not dividing by 0. So our answer is 0. Don't say undefined if 0's on top. When 0's on top, 0 divided by any number is 0. If 0's on the bottom, it is always undefined. Now, if you have a 0 slope, 3, 2, and negative 4, 2, which is back over here somewhere. Back over here. Oop. Back over here. What do we call this type of a line? Horizontal. So if your slope is 0, you're going to have a horizontal line. Horizontal. Okay? All right. So that's, hey. He doesn't need headphones right now either.
No, I did not. But thanks for the set. Thanks for the headphones.
All right. That's the first half of the assignment. Finding slope. The second half of the assignment is finding slope when we have an equation. This is going to be a very important equation for us. This is called slope intercept form equation. This is our slope intercept form equation. Y equals mx plus b. What does M stand for? Slope. M stands for slope. Because up here we had an M. Up here we had an M. We had an M. We had another M. So M is slope. Why? I don't know. The math gods made it that way.
Why is it M? Why isn't it just X?
S stands for position. Shouldn't that be a P? Sure, it should be, but it doesn't. I don't know. M is slope. S is position. B is the y-intercept. Sometimes math doesn't always make sense. So B is the y-intercept. What's a y-intercept? It's where the line crosses the y-axis. Where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so if we have the equation y equals 2x plus 3, what is our slope going to equal? Elmer? What's the slope? You know. I bet you know. I bet you could take a really good guess. Which ones are M up there? Which number? What's the number in front of X? 2 is our slope. Okay? That's all you have to do. Look at the number in front of X. And that's going to be your slope if Y is all alone. That only works if Y is all alone. So if Y equals 1/3 X minus 5, what's our slope? 1/3. What if Y equals 2? What's our slope? It's not 2. Is 2 in front of X here? No.
If it's just 2, then
B
B would be 2.
would be 2. You are correct. B would be 2.
Since nothing's written out, the slope would be 2.
This equation is the same as this equation. What's the number in front of X? 0.
But hear me out. 0 doesn't exist, so therefore.
No, 0 totally exists. You just can't divide by 0.
That's not what young Sheldon said.
Young Sheldon, I don't think you listened to quite appropriately, because I bet he even said you could not divide by 0. Dividing by 0 does not exist.
But like, if 0 is nothing, then nothing is non-existent.
No, 0 is a number that exists. Because what is 5 minus 5? If you have 5 marbles minus 5 marbles, you have 0 marbles. You have an amount of marbles. You don't have any marbles, but you have 0 marbles.
I'll ask my marbles.
Yeah, you lost your marbles watching Young Sheldon. All right. Let's try this one. What's the slope of that one?
-1 now?
-1. Susie, pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention, Susie. Yes, Susie.
David. Okay. So, this one's a trick question. If there's no y in the equation, the slope is undefined. This is the vertical line thing. If x is all alone with no y, then it's a vertical line. Slope is undefined. So when the slope is 0, it's a horizontal line. When the slope is undefined, it's a vertical line. So if y is all alone with no other numbers, y is a horizontal line. X all alone with no y, x is a vertical line. So x is a vertical line, x equals a number. Y equals a number is a horizontal line. Horizontal, vertical. Okay. All right. What if y isn't alone, but we have both an x and a y in the equation? Like x plus y equals 7. What's the slope? Well, to find the slope, we want to get y all by itself. Okay? So let's get y all by itself. To get y all by itself, what do we do with the x? Subtract it. So we write it in the form y equals negative x plus 7. Instead of writing it 7 minus x, we say negative x plus 7. So what's the number in front of x? Negative 1. So our slope is negative 1 there. Our slope is negative 1. 2x plus 5y equals 10. Let's find the slope now. What do we have to get alone to find our slope? What do we have to get alone to find our slope? Y needs to get alone. So what are we going to do with this 2x? So we're going to subtract it from both sides. So 5y equals negative 2x plus 10. Then what do we do to both sides? How do we get y alone? It's 5 times y. So if it's 5 times y, to get y alone, we divide by 5. So we're going to divide every number by 5. So y equals negative 2 over 5 is negative 2/5 x plus 10 divided by 5 is 2. What is my slope here? Negative 2 over 5. You can find slope if you get y by itself. If you get y by itself, you can find the slope. Let's do one more. Negative 3x plus 4y equals 12. What do I do to get y alone? Add 3x. So 4y equals 3x plus 12. Now it's 4 times y. So if we divide by 4, we divide everything by 4. So y equals 3 over 4 is 3/4. X. 12 divided by 4 is 3. What is our slope? 3/4. It's the number in front. Okay, so what did we learn today? Slope formulas. So if you have two ordered pairs, 3, 2, 6, negative 1, we can find the slope. We write down x1, y1 on the first one, x2, y2 on the second one. And the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is negative 1, y1 is 2 over x2 is 6, x1 is 3. So we get negative 3 over 3. What's negative 3 divided by 3? What's negative 3 divided by 3? Negative 3 divided by 3. Not 0. Negative 1. Our slope is negative 1. So, these are the ways that you find slope.